Good morning everyone, welcome to my channel. This video is an update on the progress made on my journal that I'm going to use to hold all of the tags from the 52 tag challenge that I did last year. So video number 2 went through how I was going to join all of the pages to this piece that is going to be the spine. So I've now done that. I've stitched through securing this page into position. So I've done that here, and I've now put the one in the middle as well, and this is a space to do some embroidery on to create some more decorative pieces based on those tags that I've kept to one side. I've done this one as well, is now in, and the last one. So what I've just finished doing is joining the pages together with some pins so that they become one. So this one is the last one to do, where I've just been going around the outside of the fabric and placing some pins in position to keep the edges together, so that I can come around with a needle and thread and stitch them together. So then they'll be permanently joined, making the one page. So I'm just got this last one to do. I haven't stitched the other ones yet. I've just pinned them. There goes my puppy dog, Pepper, naughty girl. So I've just now pinned the last one. The one that's in the middle, the one that's going to have some additional embroidery added, that will not be joined because I may need to get my hands in there at a later date to attach my pieces. So that is now one page, and all I've got to do is slip stitch some little stitches around that outer edge to create the solid page. So they're all pinned and ready to go. There's number 2. We'll leave this one open, like I'm thinking if I put a panel here of stitchery based on a tag, which we had spare, I can at least get my hands in here, and when it's complete and in position, I'll then do the same thing, bring them together and place some pins around that edge, and then do a little slip stitch right around that perimeter, so then it becomes a closed page. So that's going to be left, but I have pinned this one and I have pinned the last one. Okay, the other thing I've gone ahead and done that I want to show you next is I've attached my cover. So I had the 2 hard covers from the old Shakespearean playbook. So I've now glued them onto this piece that the embroidered pages are attached to, if you can see that. So it's made it quite thick. Now let me just measure that, if I can reach my ruler, no, tape measure. My spine turned out to be, it's just massive. Let's have a little look. 5 inches. Okay, so I've got plenty of room. If I decide to even stitch in more pages, I can, because I've got 5 inches with about just under an inch between each stitched line. I don't know if you can see that, but the lines of stitching have gone through to that back. So plenty of room to add more, and I'm really loving how that's come together. Now how I did this is I did the front first. See if I can line this up to show you. I got the book as square as I could. Now it's a wriggly little thing, it's fabric and it's smooshy and beautiful, so it was a bit of a challenge. So once I felt like I'd got this cover square to my mat, I then used some PVA glue and just applied the glue in behind this fabric, smooshing it all out, and then I laid this down onto it And to make sure that it sort of had a little bit of room to fold, I just made sure my fingers here could get through this little gap. There's like a little indent there, and that allows that cover to move. If that was really close to my stitch line on my first page, it wouldn't have that space just to bend. So just as you're getting it into position, just run your tips of your fingers down the edge of your cover and just make sure there's like 1/4 of an inch there of space. So then you know that your book will close properly. Oops, I just bumped the camera. Then I went to the back very carefully, flipping all my pages over to find the flap at the back. And once again, same thing, used some lines on my table here to line it all up, applied the glue to the cover, then laid the fabric down, and once again just tucked my fingers in there to just make sure that there was just that little gap to help the book close. Okay, so that's where I've got to so far, and happy with the progress, happy with the way it's coming together. So my next step is just to slip stitch these pages together. This is still drying, it's nearly dry, but I will let it sit now for a day without me mucking around too much with it, just to make sure that that grabs. So the last step, and probably the most fun step, is I get to do stitching again. So the next few videos will be the panels that I insert. Now I did change my mind, like I said I might do. This tag had a similar one that I pulled out as being inspiration for a stitchery page. I'm just going back through. Well, I swapped it. So there he is. I had those two out. So I've popped him back in because I thought this is an opportunity to have inspiration for another stitchery. So why do something that is same? So I swapped it out and I've chosen this one. So that's going to bring in some pinks and some apple greens, and it was probably a little bit more inspiring. And I like how I've got memories in a little timber piece at the bottom. So I think that in itself is going to be a really good prompt for a stitchery, that I could bring in some heritage pieces from my family and add them into this book, because there's so many elements here that are from my grandmother or my mum and aunts of the family. So I think that was a good move, that I can now incorporate something different. Now I do have 5. So the theory is 1 will be dedicated to the front cover, not necessarily bunny, but let's pretend. Then as you flip through, so there'll be a piece go here, if you're not sure what I'm talking about. Here's a little bit of scrap fabric here. Let's pretend that this is the stitchery completed. It's not the right size, but let's pretend. So that piece will be the inspiration. I'll create an additional surrounding and I will place that piece in here. Okay, now before that goes on, I'm going to have a look for some fabric that can go here to cover this, and that way my piece of stitchery will just sit then on top of it. So I'll have a bit of a rummage and find a print that will complement my book for this page. I've got a lot of fabric, so I'm sure there'll be something. And then once this stitchery is completed, it'll go into position and the tag will be somewhere in the design. So that's the plan for the internal front page. Then of course we get to the center of our journal and we have added in this 5th page. So we will be able to do, I might do maybe that one, and then on this I might actually pin that into position, and then the tag is there ready to go. Just pin that, and then we'll flip that over and we'll keep them similar. So I'm going to use the little bird nest image next. So there's sort of very neutral tones. So that's there. So we've got a home for those. And then we flip to the back. And once again, I'll put a piece of fabric here just to decorate that, to hide that. And then when I do my stitchery, this one will be sitting here. Now where I've lost a tag, there it is. I'm thinking the floral tag will go here. Okay, so that'll be on the back cover, and that leaves the 5th one, memories. So I'm not 100% sure where that will go, but I'm thinking at the moment, we'll see how this all comes together, of doing a small stitchery for the spine, because I love the book the way it is. I might add some lace and bits and pieces just to protect the edges, but I'm actually thinking, because this spine is so wide, 5 inches, this tag is going to be a decorative piece for the spine. And being that it's memories is the theme, I think that's, you know, perfect. So it'll be somehow incorporated on the panel of the spine, and it'll wrap over that edge of the book just a little bit. Let's pretend that that's the stitchery. I'll go that way so that we've got a bit of a, that's the piece that I've just finished stitching, pretending of course that's the theme on it, and then that can be glued into position like so, and that'll protect that edge. So I'll need to keep my eyes open for a nice piece of fabric that has some form of lace on the side. There's so many doilies out there that are edged with a crocheted edge, so that shouldn't be too hard to find, and that will be the theme for the side of my journal. Okay, so that's where I'm at. It is a short video today, but I just wanted to give you a bit of an update, and the next few videos there'll be five tags, 5 stitcheries to be added into this beautiful big luscious journal of 52, 53, if we count that extra tag that we did for the group in Geelong, journals. So I'm really happy with the progress and where they're going to be kept, and I, best of all, get to do some more stitching. So thank you everyone for tuning in, and thank you for your kind comments. I really appreciate your encouragement. There's just been some awesome messages come back, so thank you. Once again, just if you want to stay up to date, because this is going to take a little while, like it's not going to be a weekly video, this next 5 stitcheries. It could take me between now and Christmas. So if you want to get a little update from YouTube to say that I've completed one of these 5, please subscribe by clicking the button, and then YouTube will be able to send you a quick little message to say that I'm back with a video to show you my progress on the 5 new stitcheries going into my journal. Okay, that's it. Thank you, and I look forward to speaking to you all soon. Bye-bye.